actually not talking about Steve Harvey. I'm going to talk about Gary Chapman in his book, The 5 Love Languages. Does anybody know who Gary Chapman is? Well, you're in for a treat. Gary Chapman is a counselor, and he has counseled for over 30 years. And he discovered in his counseling that everybody has a different love language. And tonight, I would like you to take the test to find out your love language. Because in a relationship, if you're not getting your love language, that means that you're getting depleted of what you need. There are 5 different love languages. Now, you may think that you know what yours are. It is words of affirmation, which means I love you, give a pat on the back, you're wonderful. Physical touch, which means it's not all about the bedroom. This is about handshake, a hug, a kiss on the cheek. Acts of service. Your boyfriend or your wife can do the laundry. They can take the kids out so that you can have a break for that day. Or they can wash your car. Any act of kindness actually makes you feel good. Now, there are gifts. Now, you may say, I like expensive gifts. I like diamond rings. I like anything. Well, this isn't materialism. This is actually gifts from the heart. That means that they have to actually put some thought into it. Maybe make you your favorite dinner one night. Or maybe pack a lunch for you with a little note saying I love you. Just something that makes you feel good. Now, you have to have these things constantly, because if you're not having these things, then you're going to be depleted of love. The last love language is actually quality time. Now, this does not mean sitting back watching TV with your mate. This means that you're actually spending quality time, TV off. You're not actually going out to eat, because it's hard to talk with food in your mouth. So you can't really spend a lot of quality time when you're trying to eat. So this is actually one-on-one time. Now I'd like you to go ahead and take a few minutes to fill out the quiz. Now, were you enlightened when you found out your love language, or did you actually know that that was your love language?
I was enlightened.
Well, you might be surprised to find out that my love language is actually physical touch. And I'm not really a touchy-feely person, but when it comes to my relationship, I like to hold my boyfriend's hand, I like to cuddle, I like to be patted on the back, good job. And he is not verbal. He does not say I love you, which I know that he does. He just doesn't say it. He gets scared to say it. He'll say, I love, and I'm like, gotcha, you love me. And I thought that I was going to be quality time, because I used to be all about the time that you spend with somebody. But actually, words of affirmation and quality time tied as my number 2. So when people tell me, you're beautiful, you look nice, even though it's not my boyfriend because he's nonverbal, my ears do kind of perk up. Mm-hmm. I just kind of get excited about it. And I think that's just because of that words of affirmation. Now, quality time, I think Toastmasters, I spend most of my time. My boyfriend doesn't get a lot of quality time. He'll call me and say, you better come home, I'm changing the locks. And I'll say, okay, I'm on my way, the meeting's almost over. But quality time, that's important, but physical touch, I believe, is my main one. Well, it's my main one, but I think also me and my boyfriend wouldn't work out if it wasn't holding hands and cuddling, because he's just so nonverbal. That would just, my relationship would be ruined. But now we all have a love language, and that's special to you, and you need your partner to be able to do or show you your different love language. Who in the room has physical touch like me? Or maybe I'm the only one. Okay. Are you in a relationship?
No.
Okay.
But I have my cat.
Oh.
So he gives me plenty of physical touch.
Well, companion. Okay, as a person though, are you touchy-feely? You like patting people on the back and?
In my relationships, yeah, but outside of my relationships, I don't think I'm overly touchy-feely now.
Okay, that's how I am too.
It is probably not because I wouldn't want to be touchy-feely. I think it's probably more of, socially I realize that that's not the way you need to interact with people, so I restrain myself from being touchy-feely. I've known that I'm a touchy-feely kind of person, so it's no surprise to me.
Good, okay. Who had quality time? Okay. Now, when you're with your mates, do you actually spend quality time, or are you just sitting there watching TV together or eating together and not speaking?
Watching TV. And I hate TV. I'm not surprised that I was kind of surprised I got quality time, but because when I turned it over and it said not watching TV, I thought, that's it. I hate that stupid television.
It makes you feel drained, like you're not really connecting with the person.
No, he watches the TV and I read.
Okay, so you're not really
We're in the
connecting.
same room, but
Okay, well try to cut the.
I'm going to take it home.
Okay, good. Get him feeling that.
That's
too.
right.
Okay, good. Because when you don't have quality time with your mate and that's your main one, it actually makes you feel like you're less loved. You feel a gap. Okay, does anybody have words of affirmation? Okay. I don't know. I guess you're married. Does your wife know that that's your love language since you have taken the course?
Yes. And she affirms me very well.
Okay. Now, just outside of relationships, does words of affirmation help you in friendships, at work?
Yes, and helps me to know what I need to work on and pretty much things like that. I guess it was more of a confidence issue as growing up. And so I didn't realize it until I did take the test. But now I'm getting better at that. If I don't ever hear it, it's all good. I know who I am.
Okay. Well, that's good. And as everybody knows, the opposite of words of affirmation is nagging and unforgiveness, bringing up the past. That will mess up any relationship. Now, who had receiving gifts? Okay, we got two. Okay, Kim, I'll start with you. Your gifts, are they nice gifts, or is it just the thoughtful gifts like the book said? Because I want to know.
It's actually the thoughtful gifts. I get more of the expensive gifts, but I rather the thoughtful gifts.
Okay. And does your boyfriend do that now?
He just asked me, what do you want?
Uh,
I hate that. I hate that too.
but with your family and friends, do they do thoughtful gifts for you outside of
They do.
relationships?
They do.
Okay, and that makes you feel loved.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm sorry I don't know your name. Katie, what about you?
Actually, it kind of surprised me that was my highest scoring category. But when I read the kind of explanations, the thing that stuck out to me was, the thoughtful gift. And I think we tend to give gifts that are, I guess, based on our own love language unless we know what somebody else's is.
Yes.
So, getting a gift that somebody has put thought into, whether it's something inexpensive or time or whatever the gift may be, is very important to me.
Okay, that's good. And since this is your love language, if you don't get gifts, there's no thoughtfulness to be had, then that's when your relationship starts to suffer. And for you also, friendships, because you feel neglected. Now, my boyfriend does give me gifts, mainly in money, and I think I just expect it. I don't really think about, oh, that's thoughtful. I'd be like, what's wrong with you? You're not giving me anything. Okay, the last one I believe is acts of service. Who had acts of service? Okay. Let's go to Tom.
No, did you raise your hand? I changed my results this time.
Okay, well, let's go to somebody who would like to talk.
Greg
Well-
likes to talk.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's actually not a surprise for me because this is something that's on my mind, constantly, and I've learned not to nag my wife about certain things on this acts of service. But I do, I mean, it hits me, that, so definitely, acts of service. I mean, like last night, she took time to prepare a really nice meal. I mean, it was just, so I was home on time for that. Yeah.
And is that true in friendships too, when friends do kind of?
It really helps. It helps me to understand, hey, this person thinks I'm important to them.
Okay.
What they do for me, what they do for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so laziness would really squash your love.
It
language.
really, it's really something, well, love is patient, love is kind. So then again,
Or maybe.
man, you just got to the point.
Maybe ignoring the chores for a few days also would cause tension in a relationship. When we give you the love language, we also give you the things not to do or the things that your partner should not do, because then that's going to mess you up as far as your relationship's not going to flow smooth if they're not giving acts of kindness. If my boyfriend quits patting me on the back and snuggling with me, I think we'll just be friends. So we want to do what our love language says for our partner so that they won't ever feel like we don't love them anymore or that we're neglecting them. Now, with quality time or with acts of service, a lot of times they say, well, I've just lost my train of thought because I didn't get to actually prepare this, but they said that the best gift sometimes is time with the one that you love and actually just being with them and being able to communicate, doing whatever your love language is, such as acts of kindness, eating dinner, quality time, just being together and holding hands. That's personal touch too. And gifts, spending time and looking at that gift, that nice diamond ring, or that nice cup of coffee that you needed. In conclusion, I hope today that you have took away something that you could use forever in relationships, and I hope that you'll go to the website and maybe even purchase the book, because it actually works. I've actually known my love language for about 10 years. I just got to know my boyfriend's love language. But he's been with me for 8 years, so I think we're doing okay regardless. But I hope you enjoyed the speech, and thank you. Happy belated Valentine.